attention. And then that, you know, you love to see a guy like him succeed. You love to see a guy like him get his chance, and he's done well with the New York Knicks. Everybody loves the job that he's doing, and you like to, you know, this is a great story for a guy like that.
Dumars knocks down the technical. Stackhouse spins around Houston, tries to go with the reverse, and is fouled. And as he prepares to shoot, we'll tell you tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern, NBC's coverage of Super Bowl 32 begins with a 2.5-hour edition of the NFL on NBC. Sterling Sharp's career with the Packers was cut short, but now he's living his Super Bowl dream through his brother, the Broncos' Shannon Sharp. Also, the controversial Bill Romanowski goes one-on-one with Chris Collinsworth. Then the biggest day in American sports, Elway and the Broncos against Favre and the Packers. Super Bowl 32, starting with the pregame show tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern on NBC.
Okay, Green Bay or Denver? Who are you picking?
You're not giving me the points, right? We're just talking about straight up?
Yeah.
I think the Broncos can make it interesting, but you got to pick the Pack. Here's Johnson. He rattles one around and in. And the Knicks are back up by 9 at 65-56. It wouldn't shock me, though, if Denver won the game. Stackhouse. Oh, what a move!
Oh, great.
Making a major bid to star on the play of the day tonight. Man, what a move.
Yeah, that was nice. That was sweet.
Johnson against 3 defenders. Can't hit it.
Yeah, that's one of them plays you go back and...
Houston with a 3.
That was one of the plays you go back and when you get back to your house late at night, you ask your girlfriend or your wife, you say, baby, did you see that?
And if not, would you fire up the VCR, please? Another illegal defense has been called on the Knicks. So again, it's a technical foul.
We're going to look at Stackhouse here. He goes, up, oop, fake your butt. I see you coming. Now I'm going to give you the Michael Jordan sweep reverse off the glass.
Oh, that was Dr. J or MJ territory right there.
Oh, yeah. Now he's going to go home tonight. He's going to tell all his friends, did you see that? And I'm going to say, Jerry, we talked about you on NBC. See, I think the players know when they're on NBC, they got to perform. They got to get down.
I'll tell you what, we'll get to the hotel in Chicago tonight in enough time, and I'm sure that Dick Ebersol won't mind if we just sneak a peek at CNN. I bet you right now, that is the play of the day. But just so there's no confusion, you're watching the NBA on NBC.
Bad boy, Bill Laimbeer. Bill, you played 12 seasons right here in Detroit in a Pistons uniform. In fact, all 12 were played with my colleague Isaiah Thomas. Is that a thing of the past? 2 players in the same uniform for 12 seasons?
Well, it probably will be, but, you know, the good teams will always keep their teams together. So if you have championship material on 2 or 3 ball players, it's a natural. You pay them enough money, they'll all stick together because they want to win.
Well, Bill, you're still a big supporter of the Pistons. You've got front row seats. I've got to ask you about my colleague, Isaiah Thomas. He said if there's one guy in the world he'd pick to be in a foxhole with him during a battle, it would be you.
Oh, that's good. It's vice versa. The same thing is true for him, but it's nice to have him back at the Palace. I keep prodding him to get here some more, but now he's got one of those cushy TV jobs. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more of him.
Bill, I've got to ask you, there have been some speculation, some questions to you. Would you ever want to coach again? Or ever coach,
Don't start that rumor. I don't need that right now.
Okay, one last thing. Bob Costas, to you. You said that I was posting you up in the lobby. I'd rather post you up than this guy, Bill Laimbeer.
I understand. Thank you.
Can't argue with that strategy. Here's Houston's shot rimming out. And Grant Hill with the rebound. Back come the Pistons. Trailing by 9. And it stays there. Hustling effort by Grant Long to give them a fresh 24. And a bomb from Stackhouse that's no good. 3-point shooting, not exactly his strong suit. Larry Johnson's 3, however, is good for New York.
Now, Larry Johnson he's a guy that can step out and he can hit the 3-point shot. You know, he's got very good range. He's got a good touch on the ball from that distance, and they don't mind him taking that shot.
Stackhouse, on the other hand, with that miss, 9 for 46 on threes. Dumars moves it at two-point range and comes up short. Stackhouse on the glass, and he'll come to the foul line. A year ago, the Pistons were one of the best three-point shooting teams in the league. This year, they're next to last. Only Golden State is worse.
Well, what they had last year in the shorter line, you know, they had a couple of guys who can make threes from there. They had Dumars and Terry Mills. And losing Terry Mills, it's been, you know, it's had a dramatic impact on Grant Hill's game. You know, when you look at the threes that they've attempted and where they're shooting today, it's not nearly as well as they were shooting last year.
Stackhouse with the hook. Now, Brian Williams made some contact with the rim, but apparently after the ball had already dropped through, the Knicks were calling for a goaltending call, but they don't get it.
You know, Detroit appears to be very tentative in their motions. They appear to be very tentative in their actions. They don't seem to be, you know, quick with the basketball right now.
Stackhouse is plenty quick. And again in transition, he gets back with a slam off the feed from Hill.
Maybe that's the type of spark that they'll need to get them over the hump. But right now, they don't appear to have that type of energy that they've normally had with this quick lineup. But Grant Hill, being one of the best all-around players in the game, draws the D, and Stack finishes it. The dunk. Hook dunk in the net. They make a good defensive play. He sprints down court. Grant Hill sees him. He comes in, and that's just sheer hustle. That's just a desire to want to score. You know, and that's what the great scorers want to do. Every time they see an opportunity, they take off sprints to get to the basket. He beat 3-4 people down court because he wanted that basket.
After the timeout, Doug Collins inserts Malik Sealy, along with Williams, Hill, Stackhouse, and Dumars. Dumars has played a lot of minutes in this game. He'll candidly admit that when they play back-to-back, he's not the player he once was. But with a little bit of rest, he can still go for you, and he can still be the guy in the closing minutes of a close game.
Well, Joe Dumars is a pro, and, you know, he's the pro, and, you know, when that guy is 50 years old, he's still going to be able to do it.
Oakley traveled. So they take the basket away.
See, Doug Collins is searching right now. He's trying to find different lineups. They've come off the West Coast trip. He's trying to find somebody who has some type of energy. Right now, they're struggling right now. Doug Collins has tried a lot of different lineups, a lot of different people looking for someone to give him that spark.
Dumars lobs it into Williams, who has it knocked away by Oakley. Loose ball scramble, poked out of bounds. And it will belong to Detroit, but that was actually a good play by Charlie Ward. He saw that if he didn't poke it away, Williams would just pick it up and have an uncontested dunk.
Yeah, that was a very smart play by Charlie Ward. He used his head real quick, was able to think real quick, and seeing that Brian Williams could have picked it up, he just knocked it right out of bounds. When you look at New York, you know, they're first in the league in terms of points, rebounds, and blocks. Their field goal percentage, you know, their rebounds. You know, this is a tough defensive team, and you're not going to get a lot of easy looks on them. So it's important that you take care of the basketball, and when you have an open shot, you got to make it.
The discussion here is whether or not they should reset the 24. They had reset it to give the Pistons a full 24, but Hugh Hollins, the lead official, goes over and says, no. 7 seconds to shoot. No change of possession.
You know, I've been in a lot of games with Hugh Hollins, and he's one of the tough officials. You don't mess with him. You know, he can, you know, I've seen him toss a lot of guys real quick, and, you know, you see him getting on the scores table. He'll throw fans out of the game. He's a guy who loves the NBA and respects the NBA, and you never get on his turf.
Ward out.